Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to First Thoughts. I'm Simon, this is Justin, and today we're giving our first thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World. First off, sorry we're late. I was actually at a film festival in Austin last weekend. I made a video about that, so you should go check that on the Simon's Rants YouTube page. But anyway, enough about that. We're talking about the new Captain America, a week late. I guess we can jump right into it because people have already been talking about this movie a lot. I kind of knew from the jump, like back when the trailer first dropped, I was like, this ain't gonna be good, but I really want it to be. It's like a really... okay, so question. Did you watch the Captain America Falcon TV show or
No.
Bucky, whatever the hell that was?
Oh, wait, no, you're talking the Marvel one, the live-action Marvel one?
Yeah.
Yes, I did watch that. Yes,
What did you think I was
I
talking
thought you were
about?
talking about some cartoon for a second.
No, okay, so I know that one got really into the politics
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it, and I was expecting that to be the case with this one, and I think, I'm gonna be honest, I think it was when it was first made. I don't know how how much you've heard about it.
No.
There was like more reshoots for this than any other MCU movie, and you can tell because it's been edited to hell and back.
Ooh.
This movie looks like dog shit because they couldn't decide what they were doing. And I honestly think, I don't know, like oftentimes when you go and you do reshoots, you're not trying that hard. You're just like, all right, get in, get it done, get out. We are over budget. We don't want to do this. And like, so the movie starts, I'm like, man, the cinematography is surprisingly good. Why does this movie look so good? Doesn't stay that way,
No.
but the beginning looks good and the ending looked good. I'm like, I think these are the two remnants of what this movie was, and those two scenes have the most discussion of politics in them of the whole movie. And so I think during all of the many reshoots, they just desensitized it to hell and took out anything remotely controversial. I'm like, that was the whole reason this was gonna be good, damn it. So hi, we're getting ahead of ourselves. What did you think, Justin?
I thought it was a perfectly middling Marvel film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly, at this point, I don't even know where in my middle anymore. There's so many middle of the road
I've missed
Marvel
so
films.
many because I don't watch half of them
I'm
anymore.
pretty sure I've seen them all, but like,
Why?
I don't know. I like to punish myself.
Yeah.
We stopped watching a lot of the shows. Like, we watched this one. I forget how many other
Don't
ones.
say we like it's me.
Well, not
I
you.
haven't watched a single
Me
show.
and my other friends watched this one. I think we watched through Secret Wars. That might have been the last one.
I was wondering though if that Isaiah guy was in the TV show because they kind of
He
talked
was
about
a
him like.
very big character in the TV show.
Yeah, they were talking about him like I was supposed to know who he was. So I was like, I have not met this man yet.
Yeah, you were supposed to. They did a. How do you feel they did of a job of explaining his character? Because they were definitely trying to explain him in the barest.
They did fine.
bits.
They did fine.
So,
I
like,
got all I
somebody
needed
who
to
hadn't
know out
seen-
of him. I just didn't have any connection to him. 'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't have time to.
it took me a second to remember him because it was years
Yeah.
ago, and I only watched it the once. We didn't love it, but
Yeah, there's also, speaking of taking a while to remember, there's a lot of references to the Hulk movie with Ed Norton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't watched this since it came out. It's taken me a while to remember some of this shit.
at one point I did a rewatch of the movies. Now this was many years ago where they had far less.
Yeah.
But so I've seen that 2 or 3 times in total.
It's not good.
Nah, I only watched it because it was
It's part of it.
yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's sort of a lie. I saw about 30 seconds of it because I was in the hotel. I turned on the TV and it was playing. And I saw this scene where the moron guy, I forget his name, the guy who plays the cop and Lie to Me, the mentalist guy, he's also the super cop guy in the military. And he goes walking up to the Hulk like, what are you going to do? And the Hulk kicks him.
Oh yeah.
I thought that scene was dumb when I was a
that
kid.
guy.
I really think it's dumb now as an adult. That scene makes no sense. I was like, that feels like it came out of nowhere, but okay. Yep, it's a pretty dog shit scene. Anyway, back to this movie,
He was really
though.
feeling himself back then. Okay.
So stupid.
He was gonna, in his head, he was gonna dodge that. He just, parry it with his arm a bit. Just, hit him with some capoeira, some shit.
To this day, I think Ang Lee's Hulk movie is far superior. I actually enjoy that movie. I know people tear it apart because it's too slow and boring and silly. Like, one, all Marvel movies are silly.
Fair.
Slow and boring, you mean we're getting into the psychology of somebody who was the Hulk? Like, that's interesting, actually.
No.
And, Ang Lee, an actually good director, directed a superhero movie? How often does that happen? Like, I mean, never anymore. It used to happen. Sam Raimi, Nolan.
Listen, Hulk smash, okay?
He does smash.
Or-
There's a scene, he fights tanks, and he grabs the barrel off the fucker and uses it as a hammer, and he rolls up an invisible sleeve and smashes the shit out of it.
Listen. Okay, that's one of the things he does.
He also fucking punches a giant dog in the balls.
See, now that's not very Marvel. They don't like to punch dogs in the balls. Now, maybe if he punched a guy in the balls, that'd be okay.
He also gets bit on the arm by the dog and flexes so hard that the fucking dog's jaw breaks.
See?
Tell me that movie doesn't fucking slap.
See, that's not very Marvel. They don't really like that animal abuse that you're talking right there. Come on, where's the quips in that?
Also, I saw this on Twitter recently. There's a scene where he accidentally hits himself in the balls, which I laughed at because I never noticed it as a kid. That movie's good. It honestly is. It's not like what people want from a Hulk movie, but it's better than what people want from a Hulk movie. That's the thing.
Listen, we need the Hulk to either smash, all right, do some scientist shit in his human form, all right, occasionally master himself so he can be the smart Hulk version to that little time that, probably sold a couple of toys, That's really about it. Yeah. Back to smashing.
The great thing about the Ang Lee movie, too, is like all the comic book layouts of the shots and stuff. They've got like multi-camera angle. Anyway, that's when filmmaking in superhero movies was fun and good. This movie, boring as hell. And you say middling, and that's probably fair. Like I said, I haven't watched a lot of the Marvel movies, but it was just so
a lot of them have been boring as hell.
Basic, and just, it didn't do anything. And like, I was going into this movie ready for like, the Hulk for one. At least the Red Hulk. He's in the trailer. Spoiler, he ain't really in this movie a whole lot. But honestly, Harrison Ford is the best thing about this movie, and it ain't close. He's actually trying, which is hilarious, because nobody else really is. And then his backstory is the only interesting thing about this movie. And, I tried to be invested because there's 2 lines by Anthony Mackie about how hard it is to be a black Captain America, but it's at the beginning and at the end. And like I said, they cut out everything in between. Because at the beginning, he's like, nah, they don't want me here. This is not like, they're trying to, like, replace me or whatever. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, I feel like I have to always be perfect because when I sit at this table, I represent everybody else who can't sit at this table. And it's like this racial commentary about how you feel like you represent your whole race and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, where was that for the rest of the fucking movie?
You see, but they did that in the show.
I don't care. I didn't see it.
And maybe the focus groups didn't like that for a
Apparently
whole film.
not.
All right, this has to appeal to white America too.
Fuck 'em.
And maybe they don't like.
I'm white. I'm American.
Maybe the rest of y'all wouldn't like hearing a whole black struggle story the whole time.
Like, it's fucking set up to be commentary on Donald Trump, and then they skirt all the way around it. Like, I was like, I'm curious to see what this insane president, sorry to all my Trump fans, I don't know. Cut that out. Like, they're setting up like he's this, like, power-hungry president who just does whatever he wants and has obviously got anger issues, and they like tease like, oh, this is commentary, and then drop it immediately until the end of the fucking movie again, where then they're like, we can work together, right? What the fuck?
Well, listen. You see, I don't know when these
dying over here. This really killed me.
I don't know how late these reshoots could have happened, right? But you see, maybe they wanted the Donald Trump character when they thought he was going to lose. It's like, this would be great.
Honestly,
in hindsight.
Honestly, there was, it's weird because like, so we're kind of doing pseudo spoilers this whole time, honestly. So we're late to it, so I feel like it doesn't matter. You did say I was going
to jump right into this.
So I guess spoilers, but like, so there's this thing where it's like, obviously they're trying to, like, it seemed like they were going to make it about how he's bad, and then they really shift away from it. But then I kind of agree with you where they're afraid all of a sudden of saying anything negative about Trump, so the movie became an appeal to him. Where the whole last scene, they're like, please, just turn yourself in, admit your crimes, and we can all move on. And it's like, what are we doing? This is kind of pathetic. Like, they're like, see, the good president, even though he committed war crimes, he admits his flaws, and we move on, and everything's beautiful or all rosy. I'm like, that's funny. It made me laugh. I'm like, how are you just like, come on, Mr. President, turn yourself in.
Listen, man. He got conviction in the end, all right?
Yeah.
It was
the most reshoot way possible.
But
that fucking fight was... Continue. I'll get to my point soon.
Listen, man. It was all about the daughter. He was doing it.
Where was she?
You know,
where the fuck was she then?
Well, you know, it would have cost a lot more to have her more.
Yeah.
You know, one scene's budget's good enough for her.
But it's wild because, like, so the first thing that was exciting about this movie, I thought, was actually the fight between Captain America and Hulk. I enjoyed it. It's the coolest Hulk has looked since the Ang Lee movie. He did the slap thing. He did the jump thing. He was punching shit. He was cool. I enjoyed the Hulk in this movie more than I have in a decade. But then they do this big thing where I don't know how these wings work, but it seems like all the energy you put into it, it then can channel back at you or something.
So it's the Black Panther suit. I don't know if you saw Black Panther.
I did. It's been a long time. But
so it's like the kinetic energy
whatever
you
energy,
hit it with,
he
can like
shoot back.
store and
Yeah.
somehow in some various fashion redirected at you.
Right. So his wings had absorbed so many punches and hits and stuff from the Hulk that when it goes back to hit, it has this huge eruption explosion thing. And then we go, time for the reshoot. Here, let's pull him out of the rubble. Here, we're standing over here on a green screen. And it was just the ugliest shit possible. I'm like, how could the scene have possibly gone other than this? Because nothing interesting happened in this moment. So what the hell were they doing that was so unpopular with viewers that they had to do that dog shit? Because it was so like painful. It's like they're in the middle of a fight and then explosion, and then randomly all of these people are pulling him out of the rubble. So you're like, okay, this doesn't feel like we're part of the same scene anymore. And then he's like, at least told me I knocked him out. And then he comes out of the rubble still the Hulk. So it hasn't been a long time because he's still the Hulk. And then he's like, wait, let me talk to them. I haven't tried this yet. Hey, don't be mad. And it works. And it was the dumbest fucking thing I'd seen all day. And I saw some dumb shit today.
Listen.
Including Walmart Sam Rockwell, I'm forgetting his name right now, who looked like Brainiac. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either, but he looked familiar. But I like Brainiac, yes. But we all need to understand.
Brainiac Star Trek edition is what he looked like.
We all need to understand that in Marvel films, when a character needs to be redeemed, they will be redeemed at the end by a final conversation after the fights. Listen, it's the rule. I don't make them. I just watch them follow them constantly.
It pissed me off because I'm like, the most obvious thing to do is have his daughter show up.
Yeah.
Because he said, hey, let's walk along, the cherry trees. They're fighting along the cherry trees. He even references it during the fight.
Yeah.
It's like the most obvious thing would be for her to be there and like look at him all sad, and he would realize as he's killing Captain America, like, oh shit, I shouldn't be killing him, and that would make him sad, which would make him no longer mad, and then shrink. That's the obvious thing to do, but clearly that wasn't the original shot either, because she's shown at the end and it's like, oh my god, this is the first time I've seen you. So what else could possibly have happened that wasn't that or what we saw in the movie? What was the reshoot for? What the fuck? Did they like have a pissing contest or something? Like, hey, here's my dick, where's yours? Like, what could we not show?
So we get some extra shield tricks in there, right?
I just don't understand.
Maybe they had him start breakdancing out there. I don't know.
It was so fucking bad. But the thing is, like, there is a really good movie hidden in there. in all the deleted scenes, I'm sure. Because, like I said, everything that felt like it was part of the original shoot, I enjoyed. There were some really good moments. I liked the opening, introduction. There was some fun camera work. Again, they didn't bring it back until the end of the movie. And I was like, that scene wasn't terrible. I thought it was a little bit cheesy, but it was fine. Liv Tyler or whatever, fun. I enjoyed, like I said, some of the stuff with Harrison Ford. He was trying. There was some really bad dialogue he had to get through, but he was giving his all. There was, I feel like there was another couple of scenes in there that were good that I'm forgetting right now.
Sure there were.
But there were some good ones.
Hey, the action was not terrible. It
wasn't good either. It was kind of boring was the main thing, I guess.
It's classic Marvel.
Yeah.
But, Falcon has his own little flair, and he gets to keep that as Captain America, and it's just like his fighting ability mixed with old Captain America's fighting ability. But, no powers, and it's very clear he has no powers in this.
Which is
even
fun
though
when he's got the suit
has
on.
ability. Yeah, because the suit just gives him pseudo powers.
Yeah. Pseudo powers. Fucking hell.
But
let me put on my pseudo powers. Oh, that's the other thing. I liked the Isaiah Bradley. Was that his last name?
Yes, Bradley.
I liked his character. I liked his arc. And when the mystery with the the secret soldier thing popped up, I was like, that's a really obvious mystery, but I do like it. If they had told it better, it would have been better. But I was like, you hear the music play and they all start shooting. I'm like, it's pretty obvious, But I wish that had been told a little bit better, but it was a good idea on paper. And that's where I brought it up to you. I was like, speaking of the obvious Trump analogy here, surviving a shooting as a president is a really interesting thing to do there. But this was filmed, I believe that scene was filmed before that happened to Trump. So I'm just kind of, that was like a happy accident, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
or Marvel called in the shot. They called in the hit. I don't know. They're like, haha, we have a good script idea. Go shoot him.
Help this be more real.
And then that guy actually accidentally got a little too close, and they're like, hold on. Harrison Ford's ears were fine. He left them alone.
Listen, he had some bulletproof glass in front of him, and
I don't think it was bulletproof glass. I think it was just regular glass.
It shifted the bullet.
I don't think so, because their whole point, which is a good point, they completely dropped it. They're like, he had him at point blank range and could have easily hit him. Why didn't he?
Yeah.
And that was like a mystery that they were going to go down and dropped it entirely.
I really thought it was going to be some sort of
he's fighting against it or something.
He knows, he set this whole thing up, he's involved, he dodged early or something, they're going to slow it down, see, he was already dodging before the bullets were fired?
Yeah.
No.
That's the reshoots in there, because it was like, why? Moving on. Planes and shit. Like, what the fuck? What?
Listen, we gotta keep the treaty, and then when we can't keep the treaty, we gotta get there first. All right, take the battleships to the Celestial. Which, did you see that movie?
Battleship?
No, the Eternals. Did we watch that?
I did not watch Eternals, but I know that's been like a hanging Easter egg, or not Easter egg, post-credit thing for years now.
Yeah,
and they're finally like,
because if you had no idea about that was the first time, that would have been really weird.
Yeah.
Why is there just a giant face and some fingers sticking out in the middle of the Indian Ocean?
That's really what this movie is. It's clearly a filler movie. It's like a point A to point B movie. Like, we're trying to get somewhere, and so the actual plot itself isn't as important. It's just about like tying up loose ends and getting somewhere.
But that's crazy for your new Captain America.
Right. It's crazy to use what could have been a legitimately good story, ignore most of it, and then be like, and now this is happening. Like, I don't care. I wanted to see this. And it's like the whole thing with Brainiac. I forget his name and I forget the actor's name. Whatever that is. His entire thing felt like a reshoot. I don't know if he was in the original movie at all or not. The whole thing felt pointless.
Yeah, he's the only one I don't remember from like the trailers mostly. Now, maybe I just don't remember
the whole trailer tries to make it look like Red Hulk is the main villain.
Yeah.
And then Giancarlo Esposito. I want to call him Stanton. Wrong guy. He was like the secondary villain, was what the trailer made it look like. But then really, the Hulk isn't the villain at all. He's just like a plot point, and then Brainiac guy is the villain, but it's like he's such a boring, anticlimactic, like unintimidating. Like every time they show him, he just looks like a dude standing there. Just he's got a weird head, but like he's just like, hey.
Listen. The Hulk isn't the villain, right? He's the third act superpowered being fight, even though one of them wasn't superpowered being.
Right.
He's got adamantium wings and slashed him up, which I was like, I guess maybe that's how that matches up there. All right.
But this Hulk works slightly different because his skin is hot enough to burn shit, which I thought was interesting because, you know, the cherry blossom petals are falling onto him and burning up until he catches the one in his hand, and then it doesn't burn up, and then he becomes small, which also looked like a reshoot because it's like they did only like 2 angles and then he was gone, and I was like, were they busy that day? They didn't get full coverage of that? Okay.
It's not important.
But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of weird shit happened that just didn't feel like a movie. It was so chopped up. Like I said, chopped up to hell. Like I feel bad for the editor, but like imagine you edit a movie, then people go, we don't like it, here's some more scenes. And you're like, where do I put them? And then you figure it out, and then you go, still no. And that just happens to you 5 times. It's like, yeah, the movie's gonna be bad. There's no way to not make a bad movie when that happens.
Yeah.
And you feel bad for the cinematographer too, because he's constantly being called back in and like, all right, I gotta reshoot this fucking shit. I put in so much effort before, and nobody's ever gonna see it. All of them. I feel bad for all of them. Should have been a good movie.
It's insane when you think how much care they need to put into some of these movies to set up. Because, like, we all know they're just racing towards their next Avengers team-up movie.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't seem to care about these individual films anymore when you need to be establishing your new big 3, essentially.
Yeah.
You lost Black Panther. We're
That's
very
why,
sad about that.
Yeah.
Now you need to set up new Captain America, Captain Marvel. Spider-Man's not coming back. He's doing his own thing.
They almost made him. They were like, we're gonna bring him back, and everybody got really mad that they said that. And they're like, all right, fine.
I mean, listen, I can see why they want to.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but hey.
Yeah, Marvel's just full panic mode right now.
They'll do whatever they can, and that's why they've got Robert Downey Jr. coming back.
That's pathetic. Speaking of full panic mode, I thought it was hilarious. And so, all right, imagine the setting. All right, go to work. You work at the White House. You're in the security team, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're like, all right, we almost just went to war with Japan.
Yeah.
Whew, close one. Got out of that one. Didn't want to have to nuke them again.
Might be trouble.
And then your president's up there giving a speech. Speech goes fine. Goes well. Then you're doing a Q&A section when all of a sudden, over the loudspeakers, the guy you just captured somehow had a pre-planted message that is now playing, but is responding to what the president is saying. So either he knew and calculated exactly what he was going to say with his percentage decimal things.
Yes, of course.
Or, I don't know. Weird. He sent him a script ahead of time. Not
it's
sure.
classic villain shit. Yes.
And then, so your president falls to the ground like he's having a heart attack. All of a sudden, his calves get really big, and then the rest of him gets really big. What do you do when that happens? Well, clearly, you shoot the guy. The guy you were trained and hired to protect at all costs. You just go, guess I should shoot him. What the fuck?
Listen.
Why did they all simultaneously were like, guess we should shoot him now? Why?
Listen, he turned red, okay? And the VP didn't turn red. So it's like it's like we got a backup now. Just get rid of that one.
Who is the VP?
Somebody. It's time to move on.
We didn't see a vice president at any point. I would have loved to just cut away to some guy fucking his couch in the White House. That'd be great.
The VP in this movie was important as the real VP at all times. It's just president has changed. Time to eradicate.
Yeah, they're just like, don't like this color. Bam, bam, bam. Like, why did you attack him? I understand you go full panic mode. All right, get these people out. They need to be protected. We don't know what's happening. But like, if your president turns into the Hulk, he's still the president.
We just have the strongest president ever now.
Yeah, fuck yeah, go America. Let's fucking go.
We gotta reshape some cars and planes though.
Yeah, make them a little bit bigger.
Yeah, Air Force One's gonna have to become like Air Force 11.
Oh God, it's so bizarre. I love also they kept showing off that GMC truck throughout the movie. Maybe that was to recoup some losses.
Yeah, you
Because they're just like, look, the trunk's in the front. And I'm like, okay. We put a Captain America shield in the trunk in the front.
Come on, man.
Isn't that cool? Like, I guess. Doesn't make me want to buy an electric truck, though.
But money.
Yeah. I don't know. So his sidekick, the new Falcon, had he existed at any point else? Because he just seemed like a random insertion.
I don't remember him. Maybe he was in the show. He was okay. He was quippy. He
was there for comedic relief because like this
Completely.
felt like it was initially a serious movie that then had a bunch of humor kind of dumped into it in the reshoots. Still wasn't overall that funny or trying to be that funny, but it should have taken itself a lot more seriously than it did. Like the mystery on the surface was like a Bourne level mystery where like this is like intrigue and this takes us to here, which takes us to here, which takes us to here, but it's told so like in such a boring way and so shallowly and it's so silly. I just couldn't take the mystery serious at any point. And so it was caught somewhere in between of like, are we a serious like crime thriller movie here, or are we just full camp? And it didn't go either way enough so that it like at points it felt like Batman and Robin, like 97 George Clooney Batman was what it felt like at times. And then other times, like I said, it was like trying to be and failing to be Bourne. And I'm like, pick a side.
And it's crazy because I get what you're saying with the Bourne, but I can never even expect that. I just always expect it to turn towards the camp.
Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't really mind Falcon in the first, like, up to the scene where they started getting taken over for the first time.
Yeah.
And the mystery really started kicking off. If somehow because he eventually gets injured in the movie and then disappears for a while. If he had gotten injured and disappeared then, I think he would have been a fine addition.
Yeah.
But he kept going and then had to be quippy for the story up until his missile scene.
It just didn't like, it was obviously written so poorly because of the reshoots and stuff, but it's like, in the first scene, he's like, oh, I really want to help, and you don't know he's the Falcon yet, you just think he's some soldier, and he's like, let me do it, and he's like, alright, fine, just don't die.
Yeah.
And so that sounds like this is a line that's gonna come back later, and then he almost dies later, and so you're like, say the line, and they never say, I didn't die. Like, that's the first thing he should have said when he woke up from the coma. Like, Disney, Marvel, whoever you people are, that is script writing 101. You've done that like 40 times already.
Now,
just put that line in there.
Now, let me try something here.
No.
All right? Have you ever heard of subverting your expectations?
Yeah. You pretend it's going to be a good movie and then make a bad one. They've done that multiple times, actually.
I'm
Yeah.
going to continue doing that. Right? Do you expect it yet?
Yeah. Like, they also subverted my expectations. I think this plot was going to be about, social injustice and race and a president that doesn't understand. Like, the whole thing was like, they were gonna work together, but you're gonna listen to me, and there was a great conversation between Captain America and Isaiah Bradley where he's like, how can you work alongside this president? Yeah. And I was like, here we go, race commentary, and then it was like, yeah, I'll put on the suit and I'll go. I'm like,
and the problem is, and honestly, I didn't even mind.
Yeah, him putting on, but it just didn't go anywhere.
No, I get you.
Until he pulled a pistol and tried to shoot him, and I was like, honestly, relatable.
The problem is that after he went to prison, we lost the driving force for that interesting part of the story.
Any sort
and
of commentary.
Traded him in for straight camp.
Yeah. A little bit of gay camp.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, but yeah, like you make it seem like it's going to be this in-depth commentary movie, which would have been great.
It would have been
also,
interesting.
You kind of start to talk about like this possible commentary about who, Ross is and his attempt to like get out from underneath this legacy that he had built for himself. He's trying to reinvent himself. So it's like, okay, this is what I expected for commentary, but I'm cool with this idea and concept. Fair. And then they don't flesh it out enough. So it's like whatever cool ideas you did have, you just abandon or don't delete in the editing room.
Listen. I get what you're saying. All these ideas, real nice and stuff, but you know what they are? or you know what they would cause? Controversy. All right.
Thought.
Listen.
They would cause thought.
Thought is controversy, okay?
Yeah,
especially
thinking is
especially
controversial.
about racial relations,
Politics.
and politics,
And
and
not being who everybody thinks you are anymore.
yeah. And various elections and allegories to them. You know, all of that is controversial. But this movie isn't controversial. Everyone has a universal opinion on it.
As fuck.
Yeah, that's the universal opinion now. We're all in agreement that it's pretty just basic Marvel boring.
With like 3 or 4 good scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had some ideas in the first 20 minutes. And then the rest
And forgot about it until the last 5 minutes and went, ah!
Listen. They locked him away. And then they got him pardoned later. Right? That was something, I guess. Would have been nice if he could have been the sidekick, considering he's still a super soldier. I know he's old and shit, but still a
Yeah,
super
it'd been
soldier.
cool to see him involved in an actual fight.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting having to see Falcon have to fight. Or not Falcon, I guess he's Captain America now. Captain
Wow,
America.
you racist piece of shit.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
your
yeah.
Captain America. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Like Captain Black America.
Blackton America. I can't be the first one to say that, but I've never heard that before. Oh man. Also the random little tiny super soldier lady, Black Widow girl.
Oh yeah, Sabra.
Like they were like, obviously they cast the tiniest woman they could find so that it would be like subversion of expectation and oh, she's actually a badass. But then her scene revealing her to be a badass was so underwhelming that I was like, yeah, I just can't buy it. I don't know. How recently have you watched Winter Soldier?
It's been a while, but I really want
Because
to
like
watch
just
that one.
imagine the plot of this movie told as well as that movie was.
That movie was still my favorite.
I know, but because it took like that's what I'm talking about. Like I'm not saying that movie's as good as Bourne, but it's
No,
like,
it's not, but
it's
it-
Marvel's version of Bourne.
It's the best
and
Marvel
so
has done.
that's
for
kind
this
of what I didn't expect from this movie, because I told you when we saw the trailer like a month ago, I mean it had been showing for a while, but I literally turned to you at one point recently and went, I know it's not going to be good, but I want it to be good so
Yeah.
bad. That's what I was expecting, was Winter Soldier level for this plot, because that's what it deserved and didn't get, and that's why I'm so annoyed.
It would have been incredible. But the Marvel of today doesn't make those movies
It's not
anymore.
capable anymore. No, we are out of time. We need to get back in the theater. Yeah, just it should have been good, but it was taken out back and shot in the back of the head before it had a chance. Honestly, this should have been good, but it was surgically disassembled and put back together too many times to possibly stand a chance.
Yeah. Marvel has nothing to prove anymore, so they'll stop trying forever. Until the next Avengers film, and then they'll try to count on tons of cameos.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I've
I don't even know what
never
kind of,
been a huge fan of the franchise, but it's dying. It really is dying.
I'm definitely a much bigger fan of the franchise than you, and yeah, it's dying.
5 out of 10.
Yeah, 5.5, 6.
Okay. All right. Thanks for watching, guys, or listening, whatever you do. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do an
Right.
intro. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, listening, supporting however you can. We really do appreciate it. Also, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow or whatever. Give us a review. It does help. Thanks, guys. Bye.